Reports indicate that a deadly ambush by armed gunmen may have claimed the lives of 9 soldiers and a policeman in the Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, the head of the International Energy Agency said Wednesday he was ready to move forward with an additional release of oil reserves if and when necessary. Faith Bureau's comment in Tokyo came after Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi asked the agency to prepare to implement an additional release in case the situation drags on with the war in the Middle East. The IEA said earlier this month that member countries would unlock 400 million barrels of oil from their reserves to ease the impact of the Middle East war, the biggest such release ever. At number 9, Mohamed Salah will leave Premier League champions Liverpool at the end of the season, the Egypt forward announced on Tuesday as he started a farewell to what the club called 9 illustrious years at Anfield. The 33-year-old arrived at Anfield from Roma in 2017 and has made 435 appearances for Liverpool, scoring 255 goals to leave him third on the Reds all-time leading scorers chart. He has also won the Premier League Golden Boot Award 4 times while starring for Liverpool in both their 2019 and 2020 and 2024 to 2025 title triumphs and their 2019 Champions League victory. At number 8, the Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo on Wednesday swore in the Secretary to the State Government, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, and other newly appointed key state officials. Soludo, who performed the function at the State Executive Council Chamber of the Government House, otherwise known as Lighthouse in Oka, charged them to deliver optimal services to the people of Anambra. The new SSG took the oath of office alongside the other appointees at about 12:47 p.m. on Wednesday. Before then, the former Solicitor General of the state, Mrs. Ngozi Uwono, had sworn in the new Attorney General of the state, Tobechukwu Nweke, who in turn administered the oath of allegiance on the appointees. At number 7, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday affirmed the final forfeiture of $13 million linked to Lagos socialite Aisha Achimugu and her company, Ocean Gate Engineering Oil and Gas Limited, to the federal government. Delivering judgment, Justice Emeka Nwete held that the funds had been sufficiently established by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as proceeds of fraud and unlawful activities. The court gave the ruling in a suit instituted by Ocean Gate Engineering Oil and Gas Limited, which sought to reclaim the funds. At number 6, the Nigerian Bar Association has condemned the conduct of former presidential candidate and human rights activist Omoyele Sowore at the Federal High Court Abuja on Tuesday, describing it as a distribution of courtroom decorum. According to reports from Daily Post, drama unfolded at the Federal High Court in Abuja when Sowore clashed with a senior advocate of Nigeria while attempting to address journalists inside the courtroom. A video circulating online showed the lawyer confronting Sowore, insisting that the court was not an appropriate venue for a press briefing. At number 5, the Nanadi Usman-led Labour Party has announced the postponement of its scheduled Congress and National Convention, earlier billed to commence on Thursday, March 26, 2026. According to the party's previously released timetable, world congresses were slated for March 26, 2026, followed by local government congresses on March 28, state congresses on March 31st, while the National Convention was scheduled to hold on April 11, 2026. At number 4, Justice Chukwujekwu Aneke of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos on Wednesday nullified the January 2024 dissolution of the board and management of Union Bank of Nigeria by the Central Bank of Nigeria, declaring the action ultra-vires. In his judgment, Justice Aneke set aside all decisions taken by the CBN-appointed board and ordered immediate reinstatement of the bank's former board and management. At number 3, the federal government has launched Nigeria's National Single Window in Lagos, a flagship reform to modernize trade, reduce costs, and improve efficiency across the economy. Edo explained that the platform integrates government agencies into a single digital system, streamlining import and export processes, reducing delays, and lowering the cost of doing businesses. He further disclosed that for the government, the system strengthens transparency, coordination, and revenue collection. It also cuts bureaucracy and accelerates access to markets for businesses. At number 2, the trial of suspects linked to the 2025 Yelwata killings was halted on Tuesday after one of the defendants defendants slumped in court. The distribution occurred when the third defendant, Haruna Abdullahi, suddenly collapsed shortly after he and other defendants were brought into the courtroom at about 10 a.m. Prison officials attempted to revive him and return him to his seat, but he remained unresponsive. When the case was called hours later, the presiding judge, Justice Joyce Abdulmalik, said the defendants could not be deemed present. At number 1, reports indicate that a deadly ambush by armed gunmen may have claimed the lives of 9 soldiers and a policeman in the Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. Governor Nasir Idris confirmed the deadly attack, which happened on Tuesday night. According to eyewitnesses, the attack unfolded in the Giro Massa community when security operatives were suddenly targeted by assailants. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.